Hey guys, welcome back to another episode. We are jumping back on our 1974 Volkswagen bus Subaru conversion project. Last week we were able to hit the bus onto the road for the very first time, and we were kind of successful, if you want to say that. We had some stalling issues, and we had an issue where we ran out of gas and had to push this thing home, which is super embarrassing, but we made it home in one piece. But since then we have done a couple improvements off camera. The gas tank specifically, we took the old factory fitting off, we put in our own threads into the outlet of that and added a nice thick wide 3/8 fitting on there, a barb fitting. So now we are running perfectly smooth. We're not hiccuping or anything like that. It was a fuel starvation issue, so we've actually worked our way through that. So we can start moving on to the next thing, which is going to be all of our fuel tank accessory pieces, if that's what you want to call them. It's our filler neck, the little grommet at the top for our gas cap to fit on, the little fitting for our gas cap, the metal elbow that goes on there. We've got all those parts installed. But speaking of parts for your bus, it is very exciting to announce that we are working with our friends at the Bus Depot to help finish our project here. Now, this is exactly where I got all my parts from, is the Bus Depot. They work on air-cooled and water-cooled Vanagons. They also have things for Beetles and other water-cooled cars from Volkswagen, but more than just buses. So we're actually going to be using the parts from them, and they're going to be working with us for the rest of the project. So make sure you guys check them out, and make sure to put a link down in the description for you guys for the Bus Depot to look at what they have in stock for you. They even have a cheap section for stuff that's on clearance or on sale, maybe missing a small part or a small blemish, and they are drastically cheaper. That's my favorite section to shop. So make sure you guys check them out, busdepot.com. So we're going to be installing that today. We've got our rubber elbow, we've got the top flange piece, we've got a nice new shiny gas cap, and we've also got a new fuel level sender. Now with the sender, we would have to, if you want to do it properly, we would have to drop the tank. Well, we're not doing that. So you know that patch we made in the back of the bus for the person that had cut that awful round hole? Yeah, we're gonna cut that back out and just re-weld it later, because I'm not gonna drop all this engine out to do that. Yeah, judge me all you want. I don't care. It's going to end up getting covered with sound deadening material and carpet and padding and a mattress, and you're not going to see it, is what I'm saying. So we're going to cut that out and do that as well. But first things first, we're going to start putting these elbows on there. We've got our metal elbow in here as well. Lots of great things happening. We're starting to really see progress on the bus. More of the small parts come together. So let's jump into this, start putting these elbow pieces on the bus, start feeding them through, and get them connected. Alright, so we're going to be attaching this together. This is that rubber elbow we just got, and this is the actual factory metal elbow. Alright, so we're going to be installing this first section. We've got our metal elbow here, and then our new rubber one, and then we've got this little cap that actually sits, the gas cap actually sits against this in the hole down in there like that. But this is how it's going to be installed in there. It's going to be kind of tricky to show you guys because I have to reach down from the inside. I can't just feed it through the front as much as I would love to. It's going to have to kind of be on the inside and then feed this to connect it on there as best I can. So luckily this is a really nice fit, and it's super thick rubber meant for the fuel. This is a fuel filler neck technically, so it'll handle that fuel just fine. It won't eat this up. It's always important to use the right kind of rubber because other rubbers will deteriorate quickly with fuel and the ethanol that's in the gas now. So this has actually been cleaned out. It's got this little bit of rust color on there, but it's all wire wheeled, so it's not coming off on my hands or anything like that. So this is all cleaned up and taken care of already, so we won't get that in our tank. But this is a nice tight fit, and our metal piece actually has a flare on it to help keep that sealed. You can put a clamp on here, and we probably will do that as well here and then on the gas tank side. And then we're going to sit this up here, and then our little cap will go on top here like that. And this does have a clamp on it. You can see where the old one used to sit. That'll go on top right there. Then we can put on a metal flange for our gas cap, and then we can start filling this thing up with gas properly and start working on that sender. Like I said, it's a really tight fit in here for you guys, so it's going to be tough to show you, but I'm going to get it installed and I'll bring you guys in and show you what it looks like all put together. So we've actually got this installed now. This is actually on the metal tube. If my light doesn't wash you out there, but the metal tube is in there, and we have the metal tube down and then the rubber tube down. So the short end of the rubber tube is actually attached to the tank. The elbow kicks quickly to the metal tube, which is now right here to this point. So now, I'll put this down. What we've got is to install this. This is our flange for our gas cap. So it sits in there kind of like that. I'm gonna try and use the holes that are already there. I've got some screws to fit in there, and then our gas cap, which should be around here somewhere, is gonna fit into that, and then we can move on to the fuel sender. But I'll show you guys all of that setup from the inside. It'll get you a little bit better of an angle. So we're gonna screw this on there, and we'll be ready to move on to that sender. So much better. All right, so you can see we've got our gas cap installed. Nice snug fit, not gonna fall out on the road on us. You may have also seen that I used a little pick tool and my propane torch to heat up the tip of this. And that's how I cut the holes through the rubber, because they don't come with holes. They're just kind of like flexible like that, like a universal kind of fit, which is great for any kind of application. So we were able to use this to punch the holes to our already existing holes that were in the sheet metal. So we used these, we found the hole, and we had it lift and drive it through, and then made getting the bolts through much easier to go through that rubber, rather than trying to, you know, screw it through the rubber and then into the metal. It lined up perfectly every time. Super easy to install. Nice 4 bolts, nice tight gas cap. And so that's all taken care of. Now let me show you guys on the inside where everything connects. Now you can see from the other side of just, you know, metal. And then we'll be able to jump on that fuel cylinder. All right, so a few episodes ago, you may recall we made this makeshift patch, and you can see our super awesome welding ability here. So what we're gonna do is the right thing and cut it back out to get to that fuel cylinder, because I am not dropping all that and spending all day doing that. I'll take the 2 seconds to cut this out, pull it, replace it, and tack weld it back in place. This is all gonna get sound deadening and padding and carpet and, you know, jute material, and it's gonna get covered and sealed. So I'm not too worried about this looking like this. So let's cut this out, and we get access to that fuel cylinder and do a quick, easy replacement. Just like that, we've got access to our fuel sender. So whoever did that last time, thank you, because now we can see everything. So we're going to disconnect that. We're going to break out our new one and do a reinstallation, but we're going to blow out all that debris that's in there first, all that crud and crap, so it doesn't fall in the tank, and then we'll be all set. Now that we got that blown out, we're just going to tap this out. We're taking a long flathead, and we just have to twist it out by these little tabs that are on it, and it should come out for us. All right, there it goes. Take out this old sender and old gasket. Let's take a look down in here together. If I don't blind you. Yeah, there's some stuff down in there, but we've got a good filter in line, and we'll definitely have to replace it, but we are really low on gas. So maybe when we were would y'all look at me or quit looking at the ground? Okay, thanks. All right, so it was probably not wrong last episode when we were on the road and we were out of gas. It's because we genuinely were out of gas. I guess we're just going through a lot more gas than we thought we were, or we're just not putting a whole lot of gas in to begin with. Now, when we were filling this, we would fill it with through the return line. So it felt like I was putting a lot of gas in it, but I probably wasn't. So another mystery solved. But here we are putting on our new sender. Huge shout out again to our friends at the Bus Depot partnering up with us on this build. This is huge for us and huge for the channel and in the VW community as I'm starting to slowly enter into that, transitioning as being part of just the Fiat community, but now into the Volkswagens as well. Again, nice, high quality parts, awesome, fantastic condition. Again, make sure you guys check them out. BuzzDepot.com for your air-cooled or even water-cooled cars for Volkswagens. All the parts are available in stock there. So we're gonna do the same thing with this. We're just gonna stick it back in there, nice new gasket. We're gonna tap on these little flanges to tighten it back up. And then we'll reconnect it, and we'll actually be able to hop up to the front to our dash, turn the key, and make sure that it's reading correctly. Now, granted, it's empty, so in theory, this should read empty, which I have no doubt that it will. So we're gonna get this installed, just like that. Drop it in there. Make sure nothing is blocking us. Looks good. So now we're just gonna take that screwdriver, tap it around to lock it in place, and then we'll reconnect our terminals here, and we should be able to see what's going on. So we're up here in the dash. So we're gonna be looking, if it's not too blurry, up here. It should read empty, but let it climb up. Yeah, way below reserve, aka super empty. The good thing is we know it's working because last time with our old one, it shot all the way above full, so that's how we knew it was bad. So that one's showing us empty because it genuinely is. So it's huge progress. So the next step to do is go get some gas, and we're actually gonna put some gas in there along with some hose clamps because it didn't have any on the shelf. So we're gonna go grab some of those, and we're going to clamp down the connections on those metal downpipes and the connection that's on the gas tank itself. Then we're gonna load up 5-8 gallons of gas, and then we'll come back and test our gauge again. So off to the gas station and off to Advance to grab some clamps, and we'll give it a final test to see how all of our parts from the Bus Depot work out.
The next day.
Good morning. We've been awakened to the sound of all the yard crews going around the neighborhood, as I'm sure you can hear in the background. So we poured ourselves some coffee, got to listen to some awesome weed eaters and leaf blowers, but it's a new day. We went to the store yesterday and picked up some clamps, some nice double over ones. I like these, especially for this application. They've got this inner band, and then they've got the worm gear outer band, and they hold a lot better. I use these for, you know, when I really want to ensure a really good connection. They're a little bit more money, but they're definitely worth it. So I've got those for our filler neck attachments to the tank and to that rubber or the metal elbow from the filler top part. We also got some fuel injector cleaner because we don't know how long these have been, you know, running uncleaned. So we're going to be adding that to our fuel tank as well. We also went and got a couple gallons of gas. There was about 7 or 8 gallons there. I didn't cap those out. So we're going to be jumping in, adding those clamps to the rubber lines. We're also going to be welding in that patch for where we put in our fuel sender. I think I'm gonna weld it up before I fill it up. I did turn the key on and we saw that it works, reading absolutely empty because it is absolutely empty. So we know that that works, and so we're gonna weld that first, then we'll fill it up with that fuel injector cleaner and these couple gallons of gas, put the clamps on, all that good stuff. So let's jump into it today. And maybe we can even go for a little bit longer of a cruise around the block than we have from last video. So let's jump into it, down some coffee so we can actually be productive and get started. First things first, let's get those clamps on. So we've got those clamps installed. You can see one up there on the gas tank, and then the other one there where the metal connects to the rubber line. So that means we can start on welding that patch back in. I told you this is not the best way to do it. By all means, you should drop the engine and pull the tank out. And we got a lot of connections here, and we're not going to do that. So let's crack out the welding gear and clean up this area and start welding.
1 hour later.
All right, so we started to get that patched up, and it's not beautiful by any means, but it's gonna get covered, and you know, it holds. So that's all that really matters, right? So it's attached, but I don't even want to show you because it's so bad, but it just does the job. That's all that matters. So the next thing is to add the fuel treatment and start filling it up with gas and make sure we don't have any leaks. So I'm gonna set you guys up underneath as we start to fill this thing up. It is your job to tell me if we're leaking. So, you know, shout real loud so I can hear you, and we're gonna get it filled. Cross your fingers. Man, cross your fingers it doesn't leak, because I really don't want to be chasing fuel leaks. All right, so that was the fuel treatment. I don't see any wet spots, so let's keep going. All right, how are we looking? All right, still dry. We're gonna keep on going. That was another pretty good amount. Do a quick check. I don't see any drops. Looks good. All right, so I'm gonna have you guys watch the fuel gauge. So I've got it on. You can see it's slowly creeping up from the little bit of gas we put in there. I'm gonna put in all the rest of the gas, and y'all are gonna watch that as it climbs to make sure we're reading correctly. All right, so we turn the key off, let it go all the way down, as far down as we can. Key on, we see it shoot up right at above the reserve mark. So about those 6-7 gallons gets us to the reserve, which is good to know. So we definitely need to go get some more gas, and I would love to get this thing, you know, between 1/2 and 3/4, just to see where we're at and make sure we're reading correctly. So let's go to the gas station, grab some more, and we'll keep on filling.
A few moments later.
So we're back with more gas. We grabbed those 2 5-gallons, and we've also got another 5-gallon over here on the bottom, but it ended up being like 14.1 gallons for all of it. I didn't fill them all the way up just to be safe, but it's about 14 gallons extra we've got on top of that, like 6-ish, 7 that we just added. Now, 7 put us just above the reserve. I think the stock tank is around 14, 15 gallons. So this should be more than enough to fill us up and get that tank topped off to make sure our gauge is reading correctly. Don't mind that automatic transmission there. That's actually for a 124. So that project is coming, surprise, surprise. So make sure you guys are subscribed to know when that project starts happening. It's not going in this one. This is not going automatic. It's another story, another project, good cause. Make sure you guys subscribed. And make sure you hit the notification bell. That way you guys know when new content comes out. Anyway, we're gonna keep trucking along here. Let's add some more gas. I'm gonna set you guys up and let's keep seeing that fuel gauge climb. Well, that says 1/1. Hopefully the light isn't washing you guys out, but that says 1/1. We are right at full. So if we had, let's see, let's do some math here. Let's do some math. Let's cut this off. So if we were at a full tank, we had those two 5-gallon tanks that we didn't have all the way up, plus this one that had probably another 4.5 in it. So if full is 14 gallons, that means we averaged like 4 gallons, 4.2 gallons, 4.3 gallons per jug. So it should put us right at 4.4, and then 12 plus the 0.3, it puts us like 13 gallons, and that one's at full. So yeah, we're looking right about right. Of course, I would never go past, you know, quarter of a tank, just for safety's sake, because you never know. Not that we don't trust it, but you know, it's like a 50-year-old car. So we're just gonna go with that. But we are at a nice full tank of gas, and we're gonna check for leaks. I think that's our next big hurdle here. Turn on my light. I don't see any droplets down there. I don't see any droplets there either. And nothing underneath dropping from our tank. So that means we have fuel filling success. Victory. Well guys, that's gonna be the end of this episode. We were able to add up that fuel filler neck and attach it in all new rubber pieces, put those clamps on, put it in and fill up the gas tank. Our new fuel sender unit works fantastic. Huge shout out to our friends at the Bus Depot, our new friends, our new partnership that we're working with. So make sure you guys check them out. I'll put a link down in the description to their website. Make sure you check them out in the comment section. Make sure you let them know that Marshall over at Garage Time TV sent you guys there. They really appreciate that, and I would too. All we've done today, well, today and yesterday, was weld horribly, might I add. But we got it all put in. We got some fuel injector cleaner in our full tank, so nice and diluted, to help clean out this engine, which has probably never been treated like that in a long time. And we can fill up a full tank of gas, which means that we have a real opportunity to start going on a little bit farther drives than just to the cul-de-sac and back in one piece. Hopefully one piece. So that'll be in our future. Just a couple small things we got to tie up. For some reason our blinkers aren't working when our headlights are on. So that's interesting. So if you happen to know what causes that, put that down in the description down below and down in the comments. Not the description, the comments. Put that in the comments if you have any ideas about that, because I have to go start chasing that down here next. But they work without the headlights on. When the headlights are on, they don't work. When the headlights are off, they do work. So put that down in the comments if you guys have any idea of how to start chasing that down, so I can take those suggestions and take a look. But we've been making massive strides on this, and it may be getting to the point where we can start tucking the wires, putting our ECU through a hole in the back firewall and putting it inside to nice protect it. You know, there's still lots to do, but we're making big progress. We can actually make progressive drives in this thing, more than just around the block. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Subscribing really helps the channel. It helps us grow, continue to work on stuff like this and projects like these. Again, there's more projects to be coming. You saw the automatic transmission. That is for a 124, but that's all I'm going to tell you. And it's not going into the one that I have. So that's all I'm saying. Not going to go any farther than that. And there may even be a special visitor for that project. So make sure you guys are subscribed to catch up with that when that happens. We do still have some drink sleeves available. They're only $5, a really good way to support the channel. I'll even do a special, so if you guys send me the email, garagetimetv@gmail.com, send me an email, a 2-for-1 special. You guys send me that email, say 2 for 1. I'll get you 2 of those drink sleeves for the price of 1, so it'll be 2 for $5. It'll really help push those out and help keep this project on the road. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate that. And until next time, we'll see you.